Good afternoon, NFAA planners. First week of 2018, video number 2 for this year. You guys have heard me rattle on and on about tone. Tone is a vital piece of the puzzle in terms of communication. I mean, we've worked so hard on body language, we've worked so hard on actually understanding the scripting, but the missing element that I feel in most of your presentations at this point in time is the tone. I believe tone is very much underestimated as a tool of communication, a tool of persuasion, essentially a tool of demonstrating what I think is the most important and vital thing for you gaining a client, and that is passion and trust. A client to wish to go ahead with you needs to find you passionate and needs to want to trust you. It's as simple as that. The scripting in the app does the majority of the work, but when a client is saying no to you, what they are saying is, I don't trust you, I don't feel you give a shit. On a third level, if you're not confident with the app or not confident with the contact, they could be saying, you have no idea about finances, right? That's the credibility piece. Now the credibility piece we've addressed many times. Now it's about the passion and trust. Body language goes a long way, but now we need to understand how to portray it through tone, because sometimes we don't have the benefit of body language. Sometimes we're stuck behind a phone. Sometimes we have to convince a client to come back out of a negative thought pattern they're having about their financial situation. Sometimes we're on the phone begging them not to listen to their taxi driver who's steering them down the wrong track, and that comes down to tone. Rewind. See how I delivered that last line. I sped up. I was passionate, I was louder. But when I wanted you to really understand the key point, I slowed down and I timed it out. From that perspective, you would have seen how much I hate it when a client listens to their taxi driver over their financial planner. You would have seen the desperation in that we begged them. We begged them. We begged them not to. It's like saying LOL. It has no context. The wording may mean something, but without the tone, it has 1/80th of the actual impact. We begged the clients to not listen to their taxi driver. We begged them. The loudness. Now we're taking them on a journey. I'm not going to spend the whole meeting constantly yelling. I'll be out of a voice. The client will hate me. They'll have a headache, and we won't get the deal. We pick our moments. We drive the meeting in according to what's important. If you feel, as a planner, as a human being, that in that 3 minutes your client is going to be sitting with you discussing their financial matters, they will be attentive for all 3 hours, you are sadly mistaken. The most enthusiastic client, the biggest advocate of National Financial Advice Alliance, the biggest advocate of you, will probably pick up 20% of what you're saying. So my question is always the same. Do you want to choose the 20% the client needs to listen to, or do you want to let them choose? I'll give you an example, right? At the end of the meeting, if a client said 100% no, ask him to paraphrase what happened in the meeting. If he said no, fuck it, he's gone anyway. What he will go through is 8 or 9 probably of the most irrelevant points, and the 1 or 2 points that he was not interested in whatsoever, and watch the shift in his tone as he does it. So Mr. Client, you don't wish to proceed. You know, you've tried to bring it back across, you've tried everything else. Can I just ask Mr. and Mrs. Client, so I can better understand where my communication errors may fall? Because I genuinely believe this is a great strategy for you. Can you just recount the different strategies and why they did or didn't apply to you? They'll probably go, oh yeah, you said you want something to do with insurances and you want something, and you like my dog. The point is, they will pick extracts of 3 hours that they can then regurgitate to give the perspective that they were listening, to give the perception they were listening, sorry. So guys, rule of thumb, shift your tone in the meeting to dictate what the client should be listening to or not listening to. And here's another quick point, guys, and you guys should all know this with your training. If you do not have a rapport, it will not work. You start the tone matching their tone. You start the pace matching their pace. And when you have them after 5 to 10 minutes and they adapt in terms of with familiarity, then moving forward, you'll have the momentum to go into building your own tone, and they will then follow your tone. All the best, guys. Best of luck using it. Please, I want some feedback on these sessions and the one-on-ones, guys. When I call you on Friday, if I'm asking about these videos, you know shit all about them, it's not gonna be fun. Alright guys, peace.